Hi, welcome everybody to Demo Day. Woo! So I want to welcome everybody who is here in person and also everybody who is joining us live on Facebook and LinkedIn and StreamYard. Welcome to our Demo Day. We would encourage you to say hello in the comments, say hello in the chat, cheer on the people who you're wanting to cheer on, ask us any questions. MG and Antoine will be there answering your questions. So for all of you, that was probably weird, me staring at a camera. So hi, my name is Rachel. I am the event community and career lead here at Le Wagon and will be your MC and host this evening. And I am very excited. I tell the students on their first day that Demo Day for me is both my favorite and my least favorite day because it is the day that I send them off into the world and they don't get to hang out with me as much anymore. But really, it's an impressive and a wonderful feat that they all have completed, and I want to congratulate all of them on the completion. This is 5 different boot camps that are finishing this evening: data science, data analytics, and also web development. So round of applause for all of you for getting it done. Yeah. So prepare yourselves to be amazed, because in their final weeks, the students built a project that put together everything that they've been working on throughout either the few weeks or months that they've been in this program. And so considering the fact that a lot of them have never touched coding or programming before, this is an incredible feat. So again, huge congratulations to all of you. I am incredibly excited to see your final pitches, but before that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Le Wagon. So just out of curiosity, who is here for the very first time? Welcome. I'm very excited to see that. So let me tell you a little bit about Le Wagon and why we're even doing this tonight. So we are a global leader in immersive tech training, and we are dedicated to empowering our students to not only learn tech and AI, but also to learn how to learn. So we teach them the essential coding and learning skills that they need to build their futures. And whether that means to enhance their technical expertise, encouraging them to launch their own enterprises, or exposing them to highly sought after tools in today's day and age. We were founded in Paris in 2013. We've been here in Montreal since 2017. Woo! And today we have over 40 campuses worldwide, and we've helped over 30,000 students enter the world of tech and AI. So tonight, we will be adding to that number. So one of the reasons why Le Wagon is really highly rated and sought after is that our bootcamp stands out from others. And why? It's because we believe in real-time learning, on a hands-on approach, and on one-on-one support. So we really care about our students. I really care about our students, because to me, you are not just students, you are our friends and future colleagues. And I can honestly say that all of the teachers and staff are incredibly proud and excited for the accomplishments and what you are achieving today. So kudos to you all. But Le Wagon is not all fun and games. We've seen you push through insecurities, break down walls, and show incredible resilience in the past few months. And we know that each of you joined Le Wagon for a very different reason. Some of you are wishing to pivot your careers entirely, and some of you are using it as a jumping off point for something totally different altogether. But regardless of your reasons, all of you are here to forge your own path toward a future that aligns with your personal goals. So what do we actually do here at Le Wagon? We teach. We teach 3 different curriculums: web development and AI, which focuses on back and front end coding and teaches the students to create a web app from scratch; data analytics, which is all about building visual dashboards and creating a data story; and the data science and AI bootcamp will focus on the ins and outs of machine learning and AI. And that was a very big oversimplification of what they actually do. So let's dive in a little bit more. And for this, I 100% need my cheat sheet because I haven't done the boot camp, and what they have done is really incredible. So let's start by diving into the web development boot camp, and I'll go through the curriculum a little bit. So over the course of the boot camp, our web dev students have mastered the fundamentals of coding and databases. That means that they've tackled both back-end and front-end development, so things like Ruby, Rails, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and other programs, all while building their skills étape par étape, step by step. They also learn to integrate AI into their learning and building process in order to create more robust experiences. The program wraps up in a functional web application that they've created from concept to completion, transforming an initial idea into a fully designed and engineered product, and you'll be seeing that in our demos tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about the data analytics curriculum. So in this, our students will master the full process of working from data, from sourcing, cleaning, analyzing, and interpreting it. They'll start with tools that we're all somewhat familiar with, like Excel, and then they'll tackle more advanced techniques using Python and SQL and various data visualization platforms. Their goal is to uncover the powerful insights hidden within the data. And we'll see some of that tonight too. And then let's quickly finish with data science and AI. So this will be, the students are mastering fundamentals in Python, SQL, and statistics. This is where they begin. And then they start to level up by diving into machine learning and deep learning. And all of that is under the broader umbrella of AI, which really just means using algorithms to handle uncertainty. And along the way, they'll learn how to analyze data sets and predict outcomes for problems that are so complex that you really need a computer in order to solve them. So for their final project, they built a model using open data repositories in a very creative way. So that was the fun. Now we're on to the fun part, right? Are you ready to see some demos? So before I invite them to the stage, I want to orient you a little bit. So you will see 1, 2 to more people on stage. There'll be somebody over here who's talking. That makes sense. And then there'll be somebody over there who's staring at a computer and probably doing like this. The person over there is driving the live presentation that you're seeing. And the reason I want to tell you this is because everything that you're going to be seeing, it's not a prototype, it's created, it's real, it's something that you can play with later. Okay, so if you see somebody over there who looks like they're not paying attention, they're actually really important and paying a lot of attention. So, cool, right? All right, so let's get started. Okay, I get really excited. That's why I have a script also. So we'll begin actually this evening with a data analytics project with Jose, Ibrahim, James, and Vincent called Rock Climber Finder, which is a convenient way to decide where you want to travel in order to find the best climbs. So come up to the stage, y'all.
For being here. As Rachel said, the name of our project is Rock Finder, and if you're wondering why I'm going to be talking about rocks, don't worry, I'm going to tell you everything about it. Basically what happened is one day after our lesson with the boys, we were talking about doing something by the end of the boot camp, and we ended up wanting to plan a rock climbing trip. All of us were down, so we went into it, we started digging. And quickly we found out it was not as easy as we thought. We had a lot of questions. We didn't know where to go. How were we getting there? What were we going to climb? We all had different kinds of skill levels. So we decided to turn this into a data project and went right into it. The first thing we found was there's a lot of specific terms to rock climbing. So now I'm going to explain you the basics so we all understand the project. First thing, it's a crag. A crag is going to be a cliff or basically the place where you go climbing. After that, you have a route or a pitch, which is the path you're going to climb. And then you have 3 main types of rock climbing. You're going to have top rope climbing, which is the most beginner friendly. You're going to have sports climbing, which is going to be intermediate or advanced. And then you're going to have traditional climbing, which is going to be for the more advanced or expert climbing. So none of us. Now let's talk about data. What we had was a data set including 115,000 different routes, and this had a lot of text values. So the first challenge we faced was trying to clean this up and get or be able to extract the data we wanted out of it. Second of all, we had location values. We had latitude and longitude, so we had coordinates, but we wanted to transform this and be able to group routes that were close by together. So we ended up creating clusters in a 1 kilometer radius. And after that, we also wanted to know about the weather, because you don't want to go climbing in a rainy day, it's going to suck. So we ended up taking information from an external interface or a weather API, and we merged this into our main data set to get the weather information. After that, we did the dirty job, everything was clean, but we're still missing the analysis. So for the analysis, we did basically first one categorization by length. Secondly, we did a categorization by difficulty. And last, we created our own weighted score because we found out some routes are more popular than others. So there's a lot of people voting for ones and not a lot of people voting for others. So we wanted to get a better insight and created a normalized weighted score for this. Now we know the cleaning was done, the data was analyzed, but we were missing something. We didn't have a way to view what we have done. So we ended up designing a dashboard that my colleague James is going to explain tonight.
Welcome to the Rock Finder dashboard. As you can see here in the bottom on our map, we've filtered it down already to only crags in Canada, as we'll be meeting up in Montreal and heading out from campus for our climbing expedition. All of these individual dots on the map represent crags or groups of routes that we've clustered based on proximity. So as we zoom in towards Montreal, you can see a lot of crags here that hopefully will be give us some options on where we want to climb. So we'll check out this one. This crag here named Baldy, it looks like has 39 routes. Because we're climbers of differing skill levels, I'm worried maybe that won't give us enough variety where we'll all have something that we're able to climb. So quickly, I'll check another one. Looks like this crag named Val David has 149 routes, which hopefully will give us, again, a little bit more of that variety. So before we dig into the individual routes and look at the crag details, you can see here at the top the weather for the week. From the 9th through the 13th, we have the projected high temperature and the projected average temperature. If we decide we're going to press our luck and go on Friday the 13th, we can see here the average temperature is around 15 degrees Celsius, which should be good conditions for our climb. But we do have to be worried about the high temperature of 47 degrees Celsius and hopefully avoid being out late in the heat of the afternoon. So once we've decided that the weather looks okay, we can click here and drill down to our crag details. Before we look at these routes, I'm going to filter by intermediate level. The weakest of our climbers are intermediate, so we want to make sure that, again, everybody has something that they'll be able to climb. If we look here, we can see the distribution. These darker bars represent the intermediate routes now that are at these different difficulty ratings. You can see the categories of the routes as well, and then the climbing types of each route between traditional, sport, and top rope. So again, it looks like there are enough traditional and top rope for our weaker climbers that they'll be able to participate. So finally, once we decided that it looks like through these 64 routes, we should be able to find something that we'll all be able to enjoy. We can go to the details page, which will show us the entire list of these 64 routes. As you scroll down, you can see them all listed. What I'm going to do is sort this by our weighted review score, which, as we discussed earlier, is our metric that aims to normalize the ratings based on the popularity of the routes. As you can see at the top here, looks like Scepter is our most popular route by this metric. Based on its average score of 3.8 stars and its 24 different reviews. That brings it up to the top of our list and looks like definitely something that we're going to want to check out when we go today. So as you look further across the table, you can also see the description of each route, as well as any protections that climbers have recommended people bring in their reviews. So once we've decided that it looks like we have a good enough variety here, we're ready to get going. We can use our button here to bring up the Google Maps driving directions to the closest street to the crag. You can see here our directions from campus to the crag we're looking to go. So looks like it's going to be just over an hour on the road, and looks like we can get ready and start packing.
Yeah, so basically that's how we were able to create the perfect climbing trip for the four of us. And how we see this in the future, it's becoming a website, maybe an app, or maybe being used to other things like indoor climbing. Now, thanks everyone.
Or is this one on? This one. This one. I'll stick with this one. Thank you. So just a little info. James, so we have our boot camps are also hybrid friendly. So James was participating in the boot camp from Boston, and that's why we have a video. So we are going to continue to our next project, which is a web development project that was created by Anastasia, Kai, and Enrique called Share a Meal. Never be bored with your food again. Choose Share a Meal, and swap meals with your neighbors. They'll come up and explain that right now. So welcome to the stage.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kai, and I don't know about you, but I've had quite the long week at work this week. Now, I'm the kind of person who likes to plan ahead. I'm always checking my calendar before I commit to any new plans. I'm sticking to the chore chart in the apartment, and every Sunday I meal prep for my week ahead. Sometimes, though, when I'm doing my planning ahead, I find that those plans that I made don't always line up with how exactly I'm feeling in the moment. Like, for example, tonight, it's Friday, long day at work. I'm going home and I'm thinking, I really have to eat the same thing for dinner that I've been eating all week. Well, I felt like I was doomed to eat the same meal again. But while I was commuting home on the metro, I saw some people talking about this new app called Share a Meal. And it looks like it was made for people like me, those of us with a really busy schedule, but who still want to experience the spice of life, that of course being variety, and those of us who even want to talk to our neighbors. So now that I'm back home, why don't I post my meal preps for the week? We can see here, we'll take a look. I've already posted my breakfast from the week, and now I'm gonna go ahead and post my dinner. So this week I've been having roast chicken and sweet potatoes. It was quite a nice meal. I'll add some photos of my prepped plates. And then for the description, it was, oven roasted chicken breast, skin on, sweet potato fries, and some sauteed green beans by the side. It was quite nice. But it's, again, I'm just tired of it. I think someone else can enjoy this a lot more than I can. The ingredients, I kept it pretty simple, just chicken, potatoes, salt, olive oil, pepper, and green beans. Now this is dinner, so I'm gonna choose that as the category. And then the cuisine, I think I'll just leave blank for now. I feel like it doesn't really apply. I kind of just threw that together, to be honest. The location is already the default location I've set when I set up my profile. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this meal. Now I wanna take a look at what other people in the area are offering. So I'm looking for dinner. And I wanna check out the map and see what's nearby. I'm hoping for something really convenient tonight. So this is where we are, and I can already see there's a lot of options on the map, which is great. The poutine sounds good, but I'm not really feeling it for dinner tonight. There's lasagna. I think that's not quite it either. What else? Vegetable curry, though. Let's take a look. Okay, that looks nice, I see a bright mix of veggies and served over rice, but I'm taking a look at these ingredients, and I see a vegetable I don't really love. There's okra in there. I think I'm going to pass on the veggie curry for tonight. Let's take another look at the map and see what we can find. What else is around? Cabbage rolls and tomato sauce. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to take a look at that. The picture looks beautiful. It looks really delicious, honestly. I see the chef's profile photo. He looks pretty trustworthy. Yeah, so cabbage rolls stuffed with rice, beef, and pork. Stewed in tomato sauce, made with love. This sounds really nice. I'm hoping I can eat this tonight, so I'm going to request share. All right, I want to check on the status of that share. See, it's still pending. I guess Enrique hasn't accepted it yet. But in the meantime, I want to look at his profile. The cabbage rolls look so good. Maybe he has other nice food posted. Yeah, all of this looks honestly really nice. So I'm hoping his food tastes as good as it looks. While I was on the dashboard, though, I saw I had a share request for one of my meals. So I'm going to check that out too. It looks like Anastasia has requested to share my breakfast bars. Thank God, I was really not looking forward to eating the rest of those this weekend. So I'm hoping that we can make an exchange here. Let's see what else what she has to offer that we can trade. Tofu stir fry. I already have dinner for tonight, but the savory trail mix sounds like it'll be a great snack for my weekend ahead. So I'm going to accept this share, and I think that'll work out well for both of us. Now let's check on that status again. Hopefully I can get some dinner for tonight. Yes, oh great, it looks like Enrique has accepted my request. So I'm gonna go ahead and send him a message. We'll say hi, and I want to be able to, oh look, he says, hi, how are you? Great. So we've already connected, and we can figure out a time and place to meet up. It'll be in the neighborhood, nice and convenient for both of us. So after such a pleasant exchange, I think this app worked out really well. I'm looking forward to using Share a Meal some more. You know, as a busy person, I don't like to lose out on variety and new experiences, and it looks like Share a Meal is going to help keep that door open for me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. Ooh, can you hear me? Yeah. I mean, I think Enrique and Anastasia, I would eat your food. Okay. And so that was our part-time web development batch, one of the two that we'll be showing tonight. So they did their boot camp over 6 months in part-time, just as a little FYI. And also to save a little space, because I know a special person just came in, it seems like. So for the next group, so just in time. Yeah. So we have our data science batch who will be presenting just in time for mom to come in. And so we have Marcus, Tanguy, and Blaze who will be sharing Vibe Plus, which is an algorithm that uses tweets and text-based social media posts to predict your personality type. Again, this was a hybrid batch, so we're also going to have Marcus joining us from LA later.
All right. Thank you, Rachel, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, to be here. So welcome to our project Vibe Plus. And right away, we're going to let Marcus speak to present the story.
The world is in chaos right now, like absolute chaos. Financial disaster going on. You got governments going at war with states. You got, yesterday, we all seen what happened. There might be some major things going on right now. Myanmar had a whole race war started by algorithms. Facebook algorithms, and Facebook's no accountability for that. The chaos tends to manifest itself on social media, namely Twitter. Twitter fuels all our anxiety. Hate speech is rising on Twitter. Racial tensions are rising on Twitter. So how do we deal with the chaos? Myers-Briggs type indicator. Why am I bringing up a personality test? I get to that in a second. We have categories: extroversion, introversion, sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling, judging, perceiving. This is a free online personality test that any one of us can take. As you see on the chart on the left, you have each letter on the left and right indicating those different types. And then there's a chart on the right to where each column represents a different category: analyst, diplomat, sentinels, explorer. And as you take the test, those letters fall into 16 different category types on the right. So this actually gives us an idea of, or you and I, an idea of our personalities and how we interact with other personalities. So a solution to the chaos that is manifested through social media: avoid chaos and chase vibes. If we have a collection of tweets, each labeled with a personality type, like we do from the MBTI, then we can build a large language model to predict what personality type comes from a tweet, what personality type I as a user have, and whether or not we will vibe. So that way we can all avoid the chaos and chase vibes. And that is the whole point of our project. At this time, I will turn it over to my colleagues. Thank you.
Okay, so now that you have the story of the project, more or less, we can go a little bit more deep into the technical part of the project. So our approach we have, starting from the bottom of the pyramid here. First of all, we need to use NLP. What is NLP? It's natural language processing. We're gonna use text as an input, as data, but we're using model that takes only numbers. So we need to figure out a way to put that into the model. So this is NLP, what he's doing. Then we can use a model on NLP. So first model we're gonna try is XGBoost. It's a classic machine learning model, really simple, that just gonna predict the personality of the person based on how often the word appears in the sentence. So this is a simple model. Then we tried another model, BERT, that is the top of the pyramid, and it's a way more complex model. It's more complex because this model is taking as an input all the text, and you're gonna put this text as a vector in a multidimensionality space to understand the meaning of the word, the meaning of the sentence, and be able to predict personality based on the meaning that he found in the sentence. And the last model we tried at the top of the pyramid, the most complex one, is a GenAI. You all know GenAI model. ChatGPT is one of them today. And so a GenAI model, it's really a model that is already trained to understand text, and then we can talk with him directly to make him understand the different personality type, and then ask him to understand from a text which personality it is behind. So with this approach, we have a process to find the best model. And first of all, we had to pre-process our data. It's super important to have clean data that makes sense to feed the model. Otherwise, if you have too much punctuation, if you have emojis, if you have white space or whatever, the model won't understand the meaning of the sentences and wouldn't be able to make a prediction based on that. And the second part of the pre-processing that is really important is transforming the word into number. As I say, machine learning, any machine learning model is just mathematical equation using numbers. We cannot use words. So there is multiple way to do that. And we did that for all of our model. And then we can evaluate the model at the end. How we evaluate that? We're training the model on some data, and then on some other data, we're making prediction on the text. And then we can compare the prediction with the true label of the model. And because we can compare that, we can see the accuracy of the model, how often he's predicting well. And we can also have different metrics, recall and precision, that for us was really important because we want to predict each personality for as often as we can. There's no best personality. And based on that, we have some results. So on the right, you can see a chart on all the model we tried, and we have the different accuracy for each of them. And as you can see, GenAI, the generative artificial intelligence, was the best one. So we choose to use that to create an app that Blaze gonna show you.
Thank you, Tanguy, for covering the technical part. Now let's have a bit more fun. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna try and see if two people are compatible. So we chose two different tweets. The first tweet is from Donald Trump. The second is from Greta Thunberg. So basically, let's see if these two people are compatible or not. So how it works is you paste the two tweets in their own boxes, and then you just run the model. So let's run the model and see what comes up. So prediction. The first prediction gives you the personality type. So here we see Trump is a ESTJ, and Greta is a ENFJ. And then you have the confidence score, which gives you basically how confident our model is by giving these personality traits. So now, what do you guys think? Do you guys think these two people are compatible or not so much? No, not at all. How much percentage? 60, 30? All right. Oh, not too far. 40%. So apparently these two people might clash and require a lot of effort to keep a good communication, a good relationship. Like Marcus talked earlier, we can really go in depth with the personality traits and have more information. So here's something that's really interesting is Trump is considered as an extrovert and Greta as well, but they're considered extroverts for different reasons. So Trump expresses strong opinion outwardly, focused on external actions, but Greta, she focuses on outreach, building building solidarity, and taking action. So they're both extrovert, but for very different reasons, which is quite interesting. Throughout our boot camp, throughout our project, we encountered limitations. The first one is time. We only had 2 weeks, and the other is resources. But we really believe that there's great potential in this project. If, for example, a new company is trying to build, a team, for example, knowing their personality types and how somebody vibes with another person could be interesting. But if you want to go further than that, if you want to build a community, this tool could be pretty impressive and pretty helpful. So thank you very much for listening to us, and don't forget to vibe.
That was amazing. I thought Trump and Greta would be like best friends. Cool. Or not. So I also want to point out something that Blaze said that I think is really important to note, that our full-time students, all these projects were done in just 2 weeks. And for our part-time students, it was done in just like a month and a half, 2 months in part-time. So imagine if this is what they do in 2 weeks, what are they going to do in 2 months? What are they going to do in 2 years? I love you guys so much. Okay. So let's continue to our next group, which is going to be part-time web development with Pierre, Alexi, and Emmanuel, showing X-Goal Achiever, which is an ADHD application intended to help people who are struggling to keep focus on specific daily tasks. So Emmanuel and Pierre, welcome to the stage.
Hi, I am Emmanuel, and I'm currently struggling a lot in life to accomplish my daily task. This is because I procrastinate a lot and I lack of focus. Since a while, I have been planning with friends a trip to Vancouver, and I am in charge of buying the plane tickets, booking the hotel, and planning the activities. And as is common for me, I have been procrastinating a lot, and none of that is done for now. So a week ago, one of those friends just recommended me this fantastic app called X-Goal Achiever. I can tell you that since I have been trying this, my daily performance has increased a lot, and I'm so happy with that. So today is the day in which I have decided to begin this planning trip task. So first of all, I want to take a look how the app works, and I'm going through the tutorial. I want to create a task. So apparently I have to go to the main dashboard, open the new task panel. So I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm going to my main dashboard and I'm going to create a fast task. But actually, before of creating a fast task and before any other task, I love to breathe and to take some time to just relax. So for this purpose, I have already created a task called breathe. So I'm going to breathe right now, and you can do it with me as well. This is so relaxing. So the task is done, and it's perfectly done and perfectly completed. So I'm so happy with it, and I'm going to just register the stats for this one. I'm going to rate it with 5, and it is completed, of course. Now let's go to the main task. Let's plan my trip and the trips for all the friends. So I'm going to create a whole task called trip plan. And this is going to be a task for 60 minutes. And I'm going to create this as an advanced task. So this means that I am able to choose 3 subtasks because I want to divide my main task in 3 subtasks. And these subtasks are going to be buy tickets, book the hotel, and plan activities. So I'm happy with this. And I'm going to distribute these 3 subtasks in an even manner because I want each of the subtasks to take only 20 minutes. And the app will be triggering some pop-ups advising me after every 20 minutes are gone. So I'm just going to give a task summary. This is my funny trip. and I'm going to create a task. So at this precise moment, I'm stopping that procrastination in my life, and I'm deciding to start buying the tickets for everyone. Well, time's flies, and after all this time, I have already accomplished my task. So I'm so happy with this. Thank you to this X Goal Achiever application. So I'm going to just end this task right now. I'm going to rate it in 5, and I'm going to mark it as completed. As you can see, as easy as this, I can take a look on how much I have progressed in my week. For example, in this graph, I can see that on Wednesday, I was procrastinating a little bit, but then Thursday and Friday I just recovered. And today I have registered this total amount of 12 tasks that is helping me in my life to keep moving on. So I'm very happy with this. And if even further, if I go to the advanced statistics in there, I can take a look on how I have been progressing in my daily task day by day and even by hours. So as I can see, for example, I can go to the last graphic in here and I can see all the subtasks that I have performed today, including the buy ticket, book hotel, and plan activities, each of those with 20 minutes at the end of the tooltip. But also I can take a look, like for example, I have been performing very well today. I had a performing range of 98%, I think. I can play with the metrics. For example, I want to take a look when was my best day and my best hour of performing, and I can see that that was happening on June 9th around midday. So I can start tracking when in the day I have my most productivity time. uh, I can track how well I'm doing with the task, and honestly this has changed my life, and now I feel a more productive person. I'm going to have a very nice trip, and I have stopped procrastination, and all of this because of this X Goal Achiever. I totally recommend you to try it. And thank you so much.
Yay, congratulations. Thanks, you guys. That was great. So that was X Goal Achiever, and that was Pierre and Emmanuel, and yay, very, very cool. So we're going to continue on right now with our next project with data analytics, also a part-time batch. So we have Alex, Khalida, Layla, Khan, and Maher, who was working on food intolerance and allergies. And I'll let them explain it more to you all. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. We're pleased to present our data analytics project on food intolerance and allergies. Food intolerance and allergies are on the rise globally. The causes behind this trend remains unclear for experts. For those affected, getting a clear diagnosis is really hard. Doctors typically refuse patients to a dietitian who will eventually suggest going through a FODMAP diet to identify trigger foods. But this diet is highly restrictive and often unconclusive. Our goal with this project is to first establish data-driven correlations with symptoms and factors, and secondly, build predictive models using machine learning to help identify high-risk patterns in order to support diagnosis and prevention. So what are FODMAPs? FODMAPs are 5 sugars that are hard to digest and can ferment in the small intestine that can lead to gut health issues. We explored the potential factors, which are antibiotic use, chemical exposure, like pesticides and fertilizer, demographic, like age and ethnicity, dietary patterns, especially high FODMAP food intake. We use those data sets with all those pathological signs by country of all those intolerances. Now I will let Leila explaining our meaningful insights.
Thank you, Alice. Good evening, everyone. So we have studied how antibiotic, pesticide, FODMAP, and dairy can affect food reactions. On this chart, we're able to see a linear regression, show each country as a dot, and antibiotic were linked to nearly 50% lower rate, suggesting a benefits in the guts. So on this slide, we are able to see on top our random forest model, the green circles show us the model predicted celiac disease with 76% of accuracy. On the bottom chart, herbicide use has a Pearson correlation of 88% of celiac. So the total pesticide use was the top predictor for digestive problems. On this slides, the charts show correlation analysis to reveal a food map paradox. The charts show opposite effect of food map worsen IBT but improve IBS, showing different benefit across condition. On this, we see a linear regression showing a high daily intake was linked to fewer intolerance case, possibility due to a long-term adaptation. Leila will continue the slides.
Thank you, Khalida. So now we got to focus more on the food allergy part. And the first factor that we wanted to analyze is the age. We can see that the strongest impact, we see that the milk allergy has the strongest impact with age. So basically, younger people are more prone to develop this allergy. And on the other side, we see for shellfish allergy that it tends to increase with age. So basically, adults are more prone to develop it with time. The second factor that we wanted to analyze is the demographic one, or racial groups. So we're able to see for the Black community that they are more prone to develop shellfish and fish allergies. We can see for the Asian communities that they are more prone to develop eggs, soy, and wheat allergies. And on the opposite side, we're able to see that Caucasian individuals are less likely to develop fish and shellfish allergy, which is quite interesting. So we wanted to do analysis and take the previous factor in adding the gender and see how they are group-based. So we did a clustering analysis, and it's pretty revealing here on the graph. We're able to see like three distinct groups. We're able to see that the first one, the rate is lower regarding seafood allergies. We're able to see for the second group that the rate is a little bit more higher regarding seafood allergies. And the third one, they tend more towards eggs, soy, and wheat allergies. So that's pretty much the factor that we did analyze for the food allergies. And I'll pass the mic to my colleague.
In conclusion, our most meaningful insight include the link we were able to make with pesticides, fertilizer, and vegetable group, and their effect on IBD, IBS, and celiac disease. Also, countries with higher consumption of dairy tends to get lower lactose intolerance rate due to genetic predisposition and dietary habits. Also, in terms of allergies, pretty much all of them tends to decrease with age, except for shellfish. And ethnicity plays a significant role on specific allergies. Finally, the role of antibiotics was also surprising. Our data reveal no clear correlation, and in some cases, negative correlation. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for that really in-depth analysis of information. I definitely learned something. Hope you all did too. So we have one last project to demo this evening. We will conclude with our next project for StudySpark, which was created by Safwan, Mukhtar, Matthew, and Naika. And this is our web development full-time bootcamp. And StudySpark is your AI-assisted learning companion that turns your course materials into personalized summaries and practice exercises. What does that mean? You will find out right now. Come on up.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, everyone. My name is Safwan. I am a grade 9 student from Ontario, even though I don't look like it. Just believe me, guys. Um, I just found out yesterday that my parents are planning to move to Montreal next year. Super excited by it, but I'm also a bit nervous with the whole French thing. You know, I'd like to be able to learn French and speak to people in French, but with my school and my hockey practice, it's I have a busy schedule. Um, a friend of mine told me about this super cool app called StudySpark that I've been using since last year to ace my algebra and my science tests. And I'm going to try and learn the basics of French with it. So let's check it out. I have my dashboard. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new subject for French. I don't really care about the grade level, but I just want to learn the basics. So let's start studying. I was checking out the Quebec province's textbook for the French program. And I just want to go step by step. So I'm just going to upload the first chapter that is on vocabulary. And I'm hoping to get some, voila, okay, I have the notes generated for me that I can practice using. I was checking it a bit last night, so I hope I can do some of the flashcards that is on self-introduction. So I'm gonna go ahead and create those for me for practicing. I might need some help though. So let's see. How do you introduce yourself in French? I think that's je me présente. Let's see the answer. Okay, well, nice. I got it. Let's check the next one. How do you say I am from in French? Does anyone know here? You wanna give it a try? Je suis de. Let's check it out. Nice. Next one, we'll do another one. What is the masculine form of I'm a student in? Étudiant, okay, je suis étudiant. Let's check it out. Perfect. Well, thanks a lot. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have an audience like you guys with me today. Maybe I would ask Sparky. Who's Sparky? Sparky is the AI assistant that I can chat with that understands and knows my notes. And well, I'm not going to ask about the introduction. You know what? I want to be able to order bagels when I'm in Montreal. Really famous, right? How do I order bagels in French? Let's see. Je voudrais des. Okay, don't mind my my French. Je voudrais un bagel, s'il vous plaît. I don't know. I don't know about that. Is there a, that seems super formal. Is there a casual way to say it? J'ai eu un bagel, s'il te plaît. All right. I think that's enough French. But let me show you guys what I've been doing. What I've been doing with my science this semester. So I've been studying a bit of physics, momentum and its conservation. It's super interesting. I'm a bit more advanced with it now, and I also have hired a tutor for it. Her name is Naika. She's pretty smart and intelligent, as you can see. And she's been helping me ace the last two exams, and I'm super happy with it. She also sees my notes, the materials I upload, my flashcards that I'm doing, and my chat with Sparky. So I have a session booked with her next week. And oh, looks like I have a message from Naika. I see you've been chatting with Sparky about collisions and conservation of momentum. How do you feel about applying the concept? Yeah, I'm not super confident yet about the problems. Probably need a bit more practice. So this is like a group chat with Sparky, Naika, and myself. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have some problems to solve before next week when we can get over it. Well, that would be great, I think. Thanks a lot, Naika, and I think yeah, that's enough studying for me for the day. I really hope I can step up my French game, so when I move to Montreal, I can make some friends in my CEGEP. But if I don't, I always have Sparky. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes our presentations for this evening. We now know how to go on a rock climbing trip, how to learn French, how to understand tweets, how to find a meal, how to understand allergies, and you did it. Congrats. Yay! Oh, yay! Yeah, so of course, this wouldn't have been possible without all of the support from our team and from our teachers or from our team. We want to thank all of the Le Wagon staff for working so hard with all of our students to make the best experience for them here at Le Wagon. Thank you for sharing your passion, for your positive attitudes, even in the most stressful situations. There are a few teachers here, and I would like to say thank you all very much. Since day one, you've played a huge role in the success of their boot camp, and thank you very much. And to the volunteers too, to everybody, thank you. So for those of you who are now inspired or curious or want to know more and want to consider joining our boot camps, we have quite a few that are coming up. You can join web development or data analytics in July for part-time, or in full-time in October. We'll have all 3 of our boot camps. We also have part-time data science and AI in September. And so that means if you want to create an app or an analytical analysis, yeah, or discover machine learning, you can do it too, because it's really important to stay competitive in the tech market these days, and that is exactly what we like to do here at Le Wagon. So if you'd like to know any more information, here's a QR code with all of the information. How you'll end up speaking to an advisor, a learning expert. That essentially means me or Antoine or MG. Thank you, Antoine and MG. If anybody has any questions about the boot camp, about anything, about the experience, you can always ask one of us in the purple t-shirts. We're here to assist. And so this concludes the presentation for our live stream. So thank you all on LinkedIn and Facebook and StreamYard for joining us, and have a good evening.